By Ryan Wilson at RyanWilson_0715 H ago 6 minutes read we spent the off-season trying to figure out how the Baltimore Ravens could get back to the playoffs after a 2-year absence, and much of that focus was on surrounding Joe Flacco with enough playmakers to rejuvenate an offense that had stagnated in recent years. And while Jeremy Maclin appears to be a solid addition, we were looking in the wrong place. This is one of the many reasons why Ozzie Newsome is the Ravens' general manager and we are not. Instead of trying to make this offense into something that it's not, namely, a dynamic scoring at-will machine that can go up and down the field like division rivals in Pittsburgh and AFC foes in New England and Kansas City, Newsome looked to the past to inform the present. He took an already good defense and made it great. You don't say great defense lightly in Baltimore, where a Lombardi trophy was won on the backs of those tasked with keeping opposing offenses off the scoreboard. Middle linebacker Ray Lewis, not quarterbacks Tony Banks or Trent Dilfer, was the face of the franchise on that 2000 team that went 124 and destroyed the New York Giants in the Super Bowl. That defense, considered one of the NFL's best in the modern era, ranked number 2 in 2000. According to Football Outsiders metrics, statistically, the Tennessee Titans were first. In addition to dominating opponents, the hallmark of those Ravens defenses was consistency both from game to game and from season to season. Behold via Football Outsiders year defensive rank: 1999 first, 2000 second, 2001 fourth, 2002 sixth, 2003 first, 2004 second, 2005 sixth, 2006 first, 2007 fifth, 2008 second, 2009 fourth, 2010 sixth, 2011 first, 2012 19th, 2013 7th, 2014 8th, 2015 20th, 2016 6th. Fun fact: the 2012 season saw the lowest rated Ravens defense in nearly 2 decades. But the offense ranked 13th, and Flacco caught fire during the postseason and carried the team to its second Super Bowl title. And though it's early, the Ravens are the NFL's best unit through 2 games of the 2017 season. This is by design. Newsome knows that, even in an era of high-octane passing offenses, you can win with defense. We saw it in Week 1, when the Ravens went to Cincinnati and smothered the Cincinnati Bengals, 200, and forced veteran quarterback Andy Dalton into 5 turnovers and 4 interceptions to 4 different players. It was Baltimore's first shutout since 2009 and the first sign that they weren't just flapping their gums this offseason about this defense being among the franchise's best. Afterward, Terrell Suggs, the team's 2003 first-round pick who is playing better the older he gets, gave Newsome his due. Shout out to Ozzie Newsome for adding Brandon Carr, Tony Jefferson, the young kid, Marlon Humphrey, he said. That's what the GM is supposed to do, go get some Raven guys. I feel honored to be out there with them today. So shout out to Ozzie Newsome, make sure you print that too. On Sunday against the Cleveland Browns, the Ravens D continued to force mistakes. Rookie quarterback DeShone Kizer tossed 3 interceptions and lost a fumble and looked out of sorts for most of the afternoon. The performance wasn't as flawless as the one that preceded it when Kizer went out for a quarter with a migraine. Backup Kevin Hogan had some success exposing the Ravens in the passing game. But the defense stiffened every time the Browns approached the red zone. When it was over, Baltimore cruised to a 2,410 victory, held the Browns quarterbacks to 46.7 completion percentage, 20 of 42, and the offense to just 2 of 12 on third downs. We made too many mistakes, too many blown coverages, too many big plays as a defense, so we're not happy about the performance we had, veteran safety Eric Weddle said after the game, via the Baltimore Sun. We let those mistakes creep in and if we don't fix them, it's going to hurt us down the road. It may look like a great defensive effort, but when you look at it, we made too many mistakes out there. Luckily, we clutched up. These are good problems to have. And those names Suggs mentioned after the Bengals win, those guys showed up against the Browns too. Brandon Carr finished with a grade of 81.6, according to Pro Football Focus, who had this to say about rookie first-round cornerback Marlon Humphrey: 79.7 grade. Humphrey only played 11 defensive snaps but was targeted 3 times on the afternoon. He allowed just one of those balls to be caught for a total of just 3 yards. Humphrey also defended a pass on the day and made 2 stops. There's more. PFF ranks Suggs at number 10 among all outside linebackers, and TYU's Bowser, who had an interception against the Browns, is 22nd. Brandon Williams is number 4 among defensive tackles, C.J. Mosley is 10th among inside linebackers, Jimmy Smith is 20th among cornerbacks, and safety Tony Jefferson, an off-season signing, is 21st. We're sensing a theme. Meanwhile, not only did the Ravens force 5 turnovers in back-to-back games for the first time in team history, they're only the third team since 1970 to intercept at least 4 passes in each of the first 2 games. There's more. Baltimore has outscored opponents 4,410, and the 34-point differential is second only to the Oakland Raiders, who have outscored opponents 7,136. And the 10 points allowed is second only to the Carolina Panthers, who have given up a mind-boggling 6 points in 2 games. The last team to not allow a touchdown in its first 2 games, the Ravens, who did it in 2010. Baltimore faces the Jacksonville Jaguars in Week 3 before squaring off against 2 of the NFL's best defenses in back-to-back games, home against the Pittsburgh Steelers and in Oakland against the Raiders. Still, the goal before the season remains unchanged. "We're tired of losing," Weddle said in the days leading up to the Bengals game. "I'm tired of losing. It irks me every day that I didn't have a chance in the playoffs. That's not me, it's not what I'm about. Even if the offense does have a problem, I don't care if they have a problem. It's the way we're going to win." The history of the Ravens shows that you play great defense, you run the ball, you don't turn the ball over, you win, and you'll have a chance at the Super Bowl. We're going to show that and see where it takes us. I think it'll be great. In terms of specific goals beyond another Lombardi trophy, Suggs offered this after the win in Cincinnati. "We've been preaching plus 28 turnover differential. That's the NFL record for a team over the last 33 years. That's a great way to start the opener, a good way to start against a tough conference team." So far, the Ravens' defense, led by Terrell Suggs, has lived up to its talk. USATSI will have to wait to see just how good the 2017 Baltimore defense can be. Luck, fortuitous bounces, turnovers, injuries always plays a huge part in how a season unfolds. But even though the Ravens were down 9 players before preseason, they aren't using that as an excuse. One thing is for certain, though, despite this team's history of success, which includes 2 Super Bowl titles, these players aren't taking anything for granted after missing the playoffs the last 2 seasons. "We have won 2 games. We don't have the number 1 seed in the playoffs. We have not won the division. We have not clinched a playoff berth," Suggs said. "The standard is very high here, and we did some things that we are kind of kicking ourselves in the butt for. We're going to go back to the drawing board and try to fix them."